Welcome to the TiE Pitch Fest Finals, April 17, 2021. Want to thank all of you for being here. The mission at TiE University is to empower college students to become student entrepreneurs, and we bring the added value to colleges and our local chapters, college students, and our charter members by bringing all of them together here in this one event where we're looking for great ideas, we're looking to mentor great ideas, we're looking to invest in great ideas and great student entrepreneurs who are looking to build their startups. So it's a win-win for all of us here. So we are extremely happy to have you here. I want to give all of you a sense that this is more than just one competition. The TiE University program, what started as a hackathon with lots of activities around solving a problem defined by our corporate sponsors, to offering workshops for students with how to solve real world challenges or business challenges, to now a competition in which students that have ideas, that have put some time towards ideating and getting their pitch presentations together, to offering internships and networking. Oops, sorry, let me make sure. To networking, to investments. So we want to make sure that you realize that this is more than just this one competition. Lots of benefits for students to take part. I'm going to give you all 10 seconds to glance over this. For some of you who want to read this more, go ahead and take a screenshot of this slide. We have lots of benefits for students to be part of the TiE ecosystem. I'll also extend a welcome to all of you to the TiE Houston student membership. The fact that you're here means you have access to our TiE CMs, and Samya, who is our TiE Houston Executive Director, will welcome you into events without charging you any prices. Is that right, Samya? As students, they get access to our events for free?
Yes, they can attend our events.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I think Satyajit has made the same offer for students. The fact that you're here is now you're part of the TiE ecosystem. Colleges and universities, if you want to take this back to your teachers, your faculty members, to your directors of university programs, we would certainly welcome any colleges that want to work with us for this. Lots of benefits for schools. So the fact that you're here means that you care about this. Find your friends and encourage them to learn more about the TiE University program. And I'll share a link at the very end where you can become part of the group and share the message to your administrators and get them to take part in our competitions like you have. All right, so I've already kind of done a welcome with most of you, but just for recap, anyone joining us now, our goal here is to make sure we welcome you from TiE Houston, TiE Dallas. The renaming activity, if you haven't already renamed, we'll quickly welcome and thank our judges, review our pitch rules and criteria, and then we'll go into breakout sessions for the actual pitch competition. We'll take a small break while the scoring's being tabulated, and then we'll even announce the winning teams for TiE Houston and TiE Dallas. So two teams will walk away from this competition. I've already made the announcement that all of you are winners already with the $1,000 AWS credits, but the two teams who walk away today will additionally get $1,000 cash from each local chapter for being in the semifinals for TiE Global. So we're here to support you, and we're glad. So welcome to the TiE U Local Texas competition. And this is just for recaps. Judges, if you want to rename yourself, if you have not yet, this is what you would do to rename yourselves. And we'll also move on to the students. Students, if you've just joined in late, make a note of this slide. We'd like for you to rename yourself so we don't miss you during your pitch order. This is the pitch order. TiE Dallas and TiE Houston tracks. Please take a screenshot of this if needed. And with that, let's move forward. If you're not a co-host, if you're a co-host and you're not a judge, do rename yourselves with the letter A in front. and then followed by D or H for Houston or Dallas, followed by your first name. And then this is really important for all the attendees who are just joining in from our charter member CM group. Please do rename yourselves. Use the letter Z, so it takes you into the order, the lower end of the order. I also want to take the opportunity of thanking the TiE Houston judges, which include our very own board member and charter member, Vanita Gupta. Thank you, Vanita, for your volunteerism and support for the TiE University program. Ken Cohen. Ken, thank you so much for making your Saturday available for us. I know it's a beautiful Saturday today. I know it rained in the morning. It was a little cold in Houston, but I think it cleared up. Thanks to Pradeep, I don't get to go out much. I have to stick here, but I definitely want to thank you for giving that up and being here. Appreciate you being a judge, and then Mr. Will Fraser. Thank you so much, sir. I have heard your name and seen your name many times. You have helped lots of students competition, pitch startup competitions, and you have, just as Ken and Vanita, a vast amount of knowledge. Vanita has told us that this first time she's judging, but she's a co-founder of a very large startup, a manufacturing startup that is no longer a startup. So Vanita does bring a vast amount of business experience to the group. So again, if I were you students, take a screenshot of those names and connect with them on LinkedIn and let them know that you know them through this pitch competition. So let's now quickly just remind the judges why we're here. Okay, I'm talking directly to the judges. Judges, do note our goal here is to empower college students to aspire to become entrepreneurs. Please don't scare them away from this goal. Some of you can do that, and some of you may do that for the interest of the student, not wasting their time. But at the same time, I'll tell you, from my experience, most students don't run their startups on the first idea that they had. So be kind, be constructive in your comments. If there's something that needs to be said later, save it for later. Do mentor them on a one-on-one basis, but for the sake of the pitch competition, be constructive and kind in your comments. Do provide some rich feedback. Some of you have already seen the business model canvas and the business plan sheets in the pre-scoring of this event. You've already made some comments there, so we'll share all of this, all the comments you put together, we'll share all of them to students. During the pitch competition, you do have an opportunity to put some one-liner comments, but then also post-competition, you do have the ability to write much more thorough responses for the students to give some rich feedback for them. Students, once again, whatever judges provide us, will provide everything to you after the event. And then judges, please, this again, I know it's funny I'm saying this to judges. Most of the time what we notice is judges actually need the timekeeping more than the students. Students have already kind of prepared themselves. Judges, we're going to try to politely ask you to just watch the time and so we can keep moving the program forward. And then do spread the Q&A time amongst each other. Try not to take all of the Q&A time for you. We know you're passionate about these pitches, but we're going to request judges to be mindful of others and watch that time. Okay, so folks, if you have, we've already shared this with all the students, but I'll just, for the recording, we'll quickly give a recap. You're looking at the criteria for the competition here is the opportunity assessment, which is weighted at 10%, the value proposition of the pitch at 15%, operational and management credibility, the team basically at 10%, financial understanding of the pitch and the idea, success viability, presentation and delivery at 10%. So what you see on the slide there is how they're getting weighted, and the business model canvas and the business plan summary has already been graded, and that 20% is already scored. So everybody's starting with up to 20 points, and the rest they'll score at the presentation in your tracks. So here's the timing requirement. Samia is going to keep you honest on the time, judges as well as students. Students, you're going to start off with 10 minutes per pitch, and if you don't use up your 10 minutes and you have 2 minutes left over, judges could use that time to ask for Q&A. So technically, judges can have up to 7 minutes if they like. But all in all, we're looking at 15 minutes at the most, at the absolute most for per pitch, and we want everybody to be mindful of that. Samia and Satyajit both will be the moderators in the tracks, to keeping all of us honest on time. We will allow up to 5 minutes in between if we need to get our scores in from our judges. Judges, we are keeping track in a jury's monitor, a judge's monitor, which tells us if you've scored or not. So Samia and Satyajit will be able to see if you've scored or not, and may actually have to politely ask you to submit your scores so we can move forward. All right, so there we go. Satyajit will be for Dallas, and Samia, and I've also listed Amy. Amy Henry is also helping us out from the TiE Houston group. So they will be keeping all of us honest on the time. So with that, I just want to remind everybody, stay in the breakout rooms. Even if after your pitch is done, just stay in the room until we ask you to come back. And when you come back in the main room, we may have some music playing for you. Come and enjoy the music, but only do so when you're asked to come back. And then, are we ready? Are we good to go? All right, I'm seeing some nods. So with that, all of you, the breakout sessions are open. Please do go to the right track, move yourself over. If we see that you need help, we'll move you. And then Samia, Satyajit, go ahead and start the track. Don't forget to start recording when you get there. Okay? So, all the best, people.
I think we can go ahead and get started. So thank you all for joining us today. I'd like to again thank the judges, Ken, Will, and Vinita, for taking time out to do this for us. And a big thank you to Amy, who's going to help me through this process. Welcome, students. Good luck. How we're going to do this is 10 minutes of presentation. If you do cross that 10 minutes, I'm going to have to cut you off. So sorry in advance for that. And then it will be followed by 5 minutes of question answers. And after that, we will request the judges to enter their scores. So it'll be like a 5-minute break before the next presentation. Okay, any questions before we start? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the first team, Splash, Sadia and Hania. I hope I said that right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Just before that, Pradeep, you're recording, right?
Yes, Samya, I'm recording.
Okay, great. Go ahead, just 1 second. Let me get the clock ready. And then when I say, I'll go 3, 2, 1, and you can go ahead and start. Okay, 3, 2, 1, start.
My name is Hania Muhammad. I'm 17.
My name is Mariam Muhammad and I'm 20.
My name is Sinia Muhammad and I'm 17.
My name is Sadia Muhammad and I'm 21 years old. During my first year of teaching, I was a little bit confused and conflicted because I had just left a 4-year university and I didn't know what I wanted to do next, but I was always looking for something. One day I was in a room and I walked into a big mess, which is typical. It was a bunch of broken and damaged crayons. I stopped and said, "This is it." I was nervous and kind of embarrassed to tell people that I went from studying to become a doctor to wanting to start building a crayon company. But I dived, went to work, and I did some research and found out that not only are there problems, but there are also needs for an alternative. How many times as teachers or parents have we had to go back and forth to the store to purchase a new box of crayons, waiting in line, only for the next 3 or 4 days, you're back in the same process. It's a never-ending cycle. A lot of times children are being exposed to crayons and chemicals, but they're not only being exposed to it, they're also eating and digesting as well. Have you ever thought about what's in your crayon the little boys and girls are using on a day-to-day basis?
The paraffin wax and color pigmentation used in the leading crayons brands contain nuts, nut oils, red number 40 dye, milk, and worst of all, petroleum. Ingesting petroleum can cause nausea, dizziness, vomiting, and respiratory irritation, things that no one, specifically children, should have to go through. In addition to these negative side effects, petroleum is also extremely, extremely dangerous to the Earth's environment. Now, as we all know, children are very, very, very curious human beings, constantly putting different things in their mouths, like their hands, their toys, clothes, and crayons are no different. There is a common eating disorder referred to as pica, which is a craving to eat non-food-like items like crayons. It is estimated that 10 to 30% of children between the ages of 1 and 6 are affected by this common eating disorder. Now, crayons are considered non-toxic by toy standards, but not by food standards, which in fact they should be, given the amount of children that put crayons in their mouths. Now, it is not safe. Why should we have to choose between having fun and safety?
Welcome to the world of Splash. We are a company that produces crayon boxes with one formula and one formula only. That is wax plus powder times fun equals Splash. Mariam asked a great question. Why should we have to choose between enjoying coloring and arts and crafts and being concerned about our children's safety? Not anymore. Not only are all of our ingredients 100% natural and organic, but they are also completely recyclable. As you can see, we have a dual-sided crayons and we also have individuals. Every crayon we have it has a built-in housing customized specifically only for Splash crayons. It protects the crayon which not only prevents breakage, but also saves you money and time making those trips back and forth to the store. Every crayon box will be created with fun, exciting, endless themes such as princesses, music, superheroes, and more. We will also take on the social responsibility that is bringing awareness to world problems such as racial injustice and also recycling.
Calling all moms. 75% of moms identify themselves as the primary household shoppers. We want to gravitate toward this particular customer because we know that she's the key and bridge between crayon and child. Though there are many different types of moms, they all have one thing in common, and that is that they love their children. In the beginning, we assumed that all we needed was social media because we know it could be very useful. But we realized that all we need to do is use our own resources and work our way to the top. The best marketing is free. Our market strategy is taking it back to the basics. We will be making calls to find customers, using word of mouth, networking events, creating referral programs, and using our own backyard resources. Our goal is to start small. We want to gain 100 customers and build a community. We know that 75% of moms say that they recommend their favorite brands to friends and family. We can use word of mouth and referrals by offering a 25% discount to those who help us in retrieving 4 additional customers. Using our own resources, we'll be able to connect with numerous amount of different fields that we already have under our own belt of customers, such as teachers, students, schools, and of course, mothers. Splash will retain customers through authenticity, great customer service, product deals, subscriptions, and more. We saw that Crayola and other companies were all missing what customers and the arts and craft industry needed, which is innovation, solutions to toxic crayons, and endless store runs for those new boxes of crayons that'll be broken the second they get home. Splash Crayons is offering these solutions to our targets on a silver platters. So mothers, relax. No more worrying and wasting money. Splash says purchase with us and jump into our world of color.
Splash crayon holders are uniquely made to fit Splash crayons only. We plan to implement a subscription program where once you buy Splash crayons, all you need to buy again are the new colors. Just like with Coke bottles, if you bring the bottle back, you receive a discount off of your next order. We plan to do the exact same with our subscription program. We will have a subscription plan offered to schools where every month they will be sent new Splash crayons to put in their housing units along with additional interactive videos. Our parents will be offered the same subscription in a 3-month period. This grants us the opportunity to reduce and recycle plastic. It's also way more convenient than having to go back and forth to the store because your subscription will be delivered right to your own doorstep. We believe that this program will lead to further customer retention.
Like Mariam said, with our subscription, you will get 25% off per order. Based on our calculations, it costs 75 cents to make each crayon. There will be 8 in a box, making our value $6. We will charge $10 for each container, leaving us with a
and physically. We have over 25 fully customizable training scenario platforms, including traffic stops, domestic violence situations, school shooters, emotionally disturbed individuals, and more. Our training goes well beyond just knowing when and how to use force. We help first responders understand de-escalation and the endless complexities of high-stakes, fast-moving situations. We even offer custom simulations of real-world environments. Here, you can see some of our before and after images of military checkpoints that we
for licensing. Our next steps are making and selling crayons, building our brand, and marketing.
We are always ready to start learning and soak up new information to help to benefit the business. We are looking for marketing and financial mentorships. Our team is built up with young, innovative, and creative women studying biology and science to digital design and accounting. But we are also inexperienced in the two key resources that we need in order to make Splash everything that we know it can be and more. Thank you for helping us make a splash into the world of color. Thank you.
Thank you, Splash. Judges, questions?
Yes, thank you very much. So you're planning to sell primarily by subscription, or you're selling directly to consumers by the box? It wasn't 100% clear to me. And are you selling just the crayons, or are you selling the little holders too?
So our the crayons, they come in the they come in the they come in the in-housing unit. So the in-housing unit will last you up to a year, and once the crayon runs down, you will just basically be replacing the crayon itself. The subscription plan is a plan to increase our customer retention, because instead, what's stopping you from, after your first package of crayon runs out, to go right to Walmart to get more? With the customer retention plan, with the subscriptions, it will allow our customers to keep coming to keep coming back to us, to increase our sales and things like that. We will sell packets of crayons as well. The subscription is just a way to increase our customer retention.
Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so I want to give my applause to the team. I did spend some time last night and this morning with the business canvas, as well as with the video presentation. And I had a number of questions and a couple of concerns at that time. And I think this morning you guys have done a terrific job of addressing some of the concerns. So I'm really excited. I used to be an executive with an education company. We had a number of nursery schools, early childhood schools in New York City. And so I think you've done a great job of identifying both the problem and the opportunity, which is kids put this stuff in their mouths all the time. You know, quite frankly, I always thought of Crayola brand as not being toxic and not having chemicals that I wouldn't want my kids to be ingesting, but you've identified a problem and an opportunity there. I think in terms of your, so bravo for that. I think in terms of your go to market, I love the subscription model for families, for the moms and for the dads like me who would be buying these things from home. I think there's a huge opportunity to take this to the school market. And there are a number of homeschooling entities that provide product and services to homeschool networks. And there are a huge number, I think 80,000 early childhood schools and daycare centers all over the country. And I would be thinking in terms of how do you leverage that chunk of market? I have thoughts about that and happy to share later, but I don't want to. But the ecology piece for the schools, you know, we're living in an age where people have substantially more awareness of sustainability and renewability. And I love everything about that piece of your value proposition. I have one question / concern, and that is from a competitive insulation point of view, what can we create that's proprietary, that prevents Crayola, for example, and I don't know if that's a Milton Bradley company or not, but how do we prevent somebody like Crayola from saying, you know what, these Splash guys are really onto something, and we're just going to come along and take their lunchbox. We're going to replicate their product formulation, and we're just going to squash them. So that's the one big challenge I think we've got is there are a handful of 800-pound gorillas in your space, and how do we compete? But I love what you've done, and I'm much more excited having listened to you this morning than I was last evening when I first looked at your stuff. So good job, guys. Thank you, Samia.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, Samia, let's let them answer the on the competitive kind of, how they are looking at it and approaching it, right?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear you.
Because on the competition, right? What's going to stop existing players or new entrants in the market just to come and copy your idea, that may be larger, already brand named recognized?
So that's one of the things that we've been working towards as far as getting licensing and working on patents. We've been working since pretty much working and putting our own funds into working and building not revenue, but building pretty much funds to support and pay for a patent and support and pay for a license where we'll be able to have it own, and that if we wanted to let someone else use it, we could license it to other companies as well.
Okay, thank you. Benita?
Yes, great job, team, Splash team. Very excited. Don't want to take too much of your time, but I had a concern or a question regarding the product design. So are you suggesting that there will be housing for each unit of crayon for every color that, so typically, when you buy a box of crayons, you want to have 8 or 10 different colors. So will each unit or each crayon will be put in a different housing? So we have to have 10 or 12 housing is what a person is expected to purchase?
So every box will have 8 crayons inside. And so every crayon is housed so that way whenever they want to write, it won't be such as, oh, let's share all that stuff. Every crayon holder comes with the crayon. And when we send the crayons back to you, when we send the crayons, more new crayons to you, you'll be able to insert them, take them out, and do it yourself. So the design is to help and pretty much protect the crayon. And it also helps with grip when it comes to writing with children as well.
Thank you. And have you also tested the crayon for different aspects, physical aspects, such as the melt point? Does it melt? I don't think we got much information about what goes into this crayon, but is it sturdy or will it just break when the child is coloring or things of that nature? Because what I saw was, I think you put wax and some color, right? And
right.
So melt and not hold up to maybe.
I can say that the specific wax we plan to use with our crayons are carnauba wax, and this wax is different from paraffin wax because one is almost essentially edible, is used in dental floss, it's also used on candy coatings, it's also used on coatings on vegetables and things like that. And one of the benefits of it is that the when you are using a regular crayon, sometimes the dye may come off on your hand, or like you said, you may feel it melting. This wax, it won't do that with that. That's one of the benefits. And the color pigmentation powder that we plan on using also will come from vegetable and plant waste as well.
Wonderful, thank you.
Great.
So do you have a formulation you think is patentable or that would provide you with a unique position in the market?
Yes, I believe, I know so, because I know that we're the only people, first of all, the crayon companies to only have a protection case like that. So it's like it's an insurance plan for your crayon. And it's also saving you money as well. Because if the crayons are being sent or if they're broken, just imagine how many times, we don't calculate these things, but imagine how many times you're going back and forth to the store. As a teacher, for sure, going back to the store maybe 4 times at least in a month just to get a box of crayons, and it's the same routine. So you're saving money, and it's also, when I let my cousins use it and other people use it, just to like let them see it, they're like, oh, well, can we use it because it's something new? So it's automatically something that we have in our own lane. So I believe that if we can build up the right correct patent and show all the drawings and write down the correct terminology, we can definitely get a patent, and it's definitely patentable.
Great.
Okay, so you're talking about patenting the holder concept, but is the formulation, the mix of the food grade wax and the pigments and such, is that something you think you can patent, that mixture?
That was one of my questions, because like I said, we are still learning about the licensing aspect of it. But I mean, we have a unique ingredient process, and we also have a unique the name, even down to the names that we use, they're not the same. So I would say that it's based off what I know and what I have learned, that it is a possible way or a possible segment for us to do that. However, I am still learning in that area.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I know that, so I mean, let's go to the next one, but good job, Splash Team. Yeah, thank you, judges.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just request the judges to enter their scores. Okay, next we will be coming to you, VG Hair. So Audrey, you're up next. Just give them a couple minutes to enter their scores.
All right, and just so you know, we are monitoring all the judges as the scores come in. Just we want to see all green lights before we go on. So I won't do this every time, Samia. Just one time I wanted to make sure that it's all automated in the background, okay?
Right. Thank you.
Meanwhile, audience, if you would like to give some feedback, I did put a link for audience feedback in the chat, Samia. So as you know, I see some of the other students wrote comments for the students who pitched. So anytime now or later, you can provide feedback with the link that's in the chat. So and especially those who are attending just to participate and watch, the CMs who are there, please do fill that out. We will be sharing that with the team as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Ravi.
So Samia, I'm not sure how to use the time. I went ahead and gave some quick comments, but we'd be happy to provide more comments and questions if time allows.
Yeah, I think would it be possible for you to give like a written feedback so we can share it with the team? We're almost at time for the next team.
That's fine. We can do that in the after form. Okay. Whatever it's formally called, the post-competition submission form.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, we're just waiting on. Okay, we're ready to go to the next team. So Audrey, just give me 1 second. I need to start the clock. Okay. 3. I just first just share your screen so we're ready. Great. 3, 2, 1, start.
My name is Audrey Mitchell. I am the owner of VG Hair Care, where we heal your crown and you. A backstory about VG Hair Care, we started because my daughter lost her hair to a bacterial infection, and I seen her confidence take a shot. So in my mind, I was like, oh no. So I cut my hair in solidarity for hers. And then I decided to create a formula called Goddess Growth Oil, which was able to grow her hair back. And from that, VG Hair Care was birthed. So dealing with unexpected hair loss, when losing your hair, no matter the gender, nationality, age, demographic, or the cause of hair loss, all we remember is the effect it created in our subconscious that's caused the doubt and lowers our confidence. I say we because I experienced that with my daughter and myself in our hair journey. That rebuilt our love for ourselves and our hair. With VG Hair Care, you can nourish your crown the same as you nourish your soul with intentional care. So some of the problems that Black women and men are more prone to is alopecia. Alopecia plays a big part in our hair with the African American women and men. This is tied to many variables. It deals with genetics, food habits, emotions, as well as mentality and culture. And I say culture is because it's traditions that are passed down to us, dealing with breakage that cause breakage. It's caused by repetitive use of braids, weaves, cornrows, chemical relaxers, hot combs, and other hair care practices that we do with our hair. These practices are causing our hair follicles to inflame. And if these practices continue, it could lead to permanent hair loss. But that's okay, because VG Hair Care have all the needs and take care of all the hair care needs that the customers may need. Sorry. So let's talk about our products. VG Hair Care has a black soap infused cocoa powder shampoo. So with the shampoo, normally shampoos are strippers of the hair. It strips away the moisture, the oils, the minerals out the hair. So with our Goddess Growth shampoo, it does not do that. What it does, it cleans the hair and then supply the nutrients, the oils, and the minerals back into the hair. Our conditioner is a hibiscus infused conditioner that teaches the hair how to train and teaches the hair how to retain moisture. Our scalp scrub is a exfoliant for the scalp. So you will scrub your scalp clean and unclog your pores, and as well as remove any debris or buildup on the scalp. While it's cleansing the scalp, all that's inside of our scalp scrub is now able to penetrate the pores that's been unclogged in order to bring renewal to the scalp, bringing new growth and a new hair texture that is now stronger and better. Our hair butter is a highly moisturizing butter for the hair. So no longer will you deal with brittleness or breakage with our high moisturized butter. I put 3 butters in this one butter. It's cochium butter, mango butter, and shea butter, packed infused with herbs as well as oil. So let's talk about our Tropical Goddess Growth Oil, the reason why we're here. Our Tropical Goddess Growth Oil is an herbal infused oil. So with the herbal infused oil is different herbs that I decided to use that are benefits to the hair, as well as essential oils like tea tree. Tea tree is a essential oil that prevents any inflammatory, as well as lavender is wonderful to combat the alopecia-ness in other customers, as well as I use peppermint to store the stimulation of blood circulation in the scalp to promote new hair growth. So some of the unique value that's proposition about our company, our products are handcrafted with intention to grow hair and the confidence. We are building a community of women and men that are becoming more self-aware and that they are able to realize that they're not alone in this hair journey. So through our products, we are now tapping into hair growth and self-love. VG hair care products are formulated to be a stepping stone in the community to inspire others to speak words of life into their hair and themselves. So we are providing people with crystals that deals with the crown, which is their hair. We provide them with crystals that deal with their self-love, which is like an amethyst and a rose quartz is part of our packaging. And as well as we give people affirmations to say as they use our hair product. So we are focusing on making sure not only are we building people, teaching, educating them on how to provide the right nourishments and oils for their hair, but as well as bringing life into their cells. So let's talk about money. We all like money. So dealing with the money, I decided to do a 5-year projection on our Just Goddess Growth Oil. So we started back in 2018. In 2018, starting off, we was able to make $4,000 in sales for that year. Jumping to 2021, I project that we'll be able to make $16,000 in sales just off of the Goddess Growth Oil. And I project that all the way to 2025, that we're able to end the year with 2025 at $32,000. Now you might be asking, how is this possible, Audrey? So what's happening is that now we're dealing with social media marketing, as well as our sales channels, as well as we're linking with a marketing company in the UK. So let's go back to the social media marketing. We have increased our engagement significantly on our Facebook likes with 200% of growth. We have increased our Instagram engagement by creating different reels. So we went from 600 followers from January to 1,100 just in this short time frame of March. And that's is due because of our TikTok. So I created our TikTok 3 months ago in December. We went from 0 followers to 3,000 followers in 3 months. From 0 views to over 400,000 views. You might say, how did you do this? So we was capable of doing this because one of our videos went viral. I will let y'all see it as well. One moment. I want to talk about the sales channels. So we also sell on Instagram as well as Facebook and our website. So now let's turn it over to our TikTok video, which caused us to go viral.
Putting on hair care products in the beauty supply without asking.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? How would they know? I can't. Oh my God.
So this video right here was able for us to get in front of 400,000 people. And this just comes from us being creative and innovators and figuring out ways that we can put our company in front of multiple people at one time. So now let's move on to the investment. The reason why I'm asking for an investment is because I would love to build more brand awareness, increase our inventory, as well as make educational events to teach people how to take care and nourish their hair, as well as how to take care and nourish their spirit. Thank you for your opportunity and the time for allowing me to talk about VG Hair Care. We're here. My name is Audrey Mitchell, and I'm the owner of VG Hair Care, healing one crown at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. Judges, it's over to you for questions.
Thank you, Audrey. That's very interesting. Do you see yourself as primarily selling to individual customers through your web channels and such, or to selling to stores, salons, and others? So who's actually going to buy your product, the user or the store or salon or someone like that?
So I plan on selling to everybody. So I'm currently in 2 stores in Houston, a barbershop and a boutique, as well as I go to different trade shows for interaction so we can get our name in front of people. I forgot I had mentioned about the UK, but I didn't continue. So we was actually able to find a marketing company in the UK, and now we're able to expand our brand internationally. So to answer the question, yes, retail and individuals.
Okay.
Okay, Vanita.
Yes, hi, great job, Audrey. Really, admire that, you're very supportive of your child and you went all the way to the extent of even opening a business and solving a problem for the community at large. So great job there. I had a question. How many case studies do you have to really prove that this product works? There are so many products out there for hair loss, and it's hard to differentiate one from the other. So how do you build that credibility that this product's going to work?
So I have many reviews from men and women. I have dealing with men that have genetic hair loss that they lost in the middle of their hair, because most of the time alopecia starts in the center and it works its way out. Sometimes it's just genetics. So I have a case study of a young man. I was able to grow his hair back, and he told me that he's continually to this day still using our product with his hair grew back. I had a lady that had cancer, and she was in remission, and she was able to start seeing hair growth in 4 days. Also with postpartum trauma, women sometimes lose their edges, and in 2 weeks, she was able to start seeing growth in her hair. So I have reviews. I'm sorry I didn't put them in the slides, but I definitely do have reviews, and that's what keeps me pushing. And currently, also in my family, the only products we use is mine.
Where did you learn about the science behind this?
I did research. So I wanted to find a way to make a product that was capable of healing and solving the solution. So when I realized what was happening with my daughter, because it was like a month before school started, and I was like, oh my gosh, she got to go to school. So I started doing research, and I knew that I didn't want to use coconut oil because a lot of people are allergic to coconut oil. And I didn't want to use a heavy oil because it drips as you put it in. So I decided to use avocado, grapeseed, and carrot oil. And I use carrot oil because of the benefits of vitamin E that's in carrot oil, as well as the strengthening of the hair that comes from carrot oil. And I decided to use grapeseed and avocado because they are light oils. So these are the carrier oils in our products. So any product that you use from our line grows your hair, because I use the same base oils and ingredients in our Goddess Growth Oil in the other products.
Thank you.
Ken, go ahead.
Ken, it's your turn now.
Thank you so much. This is my hair, and I don't color it, and I'm an old guy, so I'm some people on this call know me, like Anita, and she knows I'm a fairly vain guy. So, I have a couple of questions, and I love a whole bunch of elements of your solution. I love the guerrilla marketing piece, the TikTok video. I think that was such a cool thing. From a go-to-market point of view, I'm wondering, you're in Houston. Do you know Kim Roxy? Do you know her?
No, sir.
I'm blocking on the name of her cosmetic African-American woman, really beautiful, and developed a line of makeup.
I actually think I seen her on one of the ACC events. Is her thing called Lestic or Listic?
Yes, that's yes. So she's a friend, and I think she could be a great asset to you, just in terms of accelerating your trajectory around go-to-market.
Yes.
So I'm happy to make that introduction after today, if you would like that. Happy to help.
Yes.
Always happy to help. I love the dual benefit positioning of self-love and hair care. And, as someone who's as vain as I am around, having my hair, and I'm not sure what I would do if I lost it. I'm not one of those, I guess I would be one of those white guys that shave their heads, I suppose. I have a couple of questions for you. One is about product efficacy, and Vanita started to get at that a bit, which is, from a formulation point of view and from a real benefit point of view. And I don't need you to answer that question, but I think having being able to demonstrate product efficacy, effectiveness is really important here because of the benefit that you're positioning. I'm wondering if any FDA approvals in terms of formulation would be required or desirable.
So that's what I've been working on since we're going towards the retail store. So pretty much all the products that I use, ingredients that I use is all organic. So it's no chemical base in the product. So it's pretty much the products that I use is really already FDA approved. So with that being said, I still want to cross my T's and dot my I's.
Yeah, what prompted that for me was so happens that my wife has an anaphylactic allergy to avocado. So obviously can't eat guacamole and can't even, handle an avocado without having an issue.
Right.
And then the other question I have has to do with your customer base, having to do with recurring revenue. Do you have the ability today to track, I buy your product, I use your product, my container of your product is empty. How do you know whether or not you're experiencing substantial just churn of your customer base, or whether you're really going to be able to get traction and increase your revenues over time by selling not only more of you talked about the shampoo and you talked about the oil, but you've got 3 or 4 other products in your line. And, what I want to do is capture as much of, share of your wallet as I can by selling you my shampoo, my conditioner, the other product. So anyway, so I have all of those questions.
I'm going to interrupt, okay? I did get you guys off. So let me give, Audrey, I'll give you 5 seconds, right? Just talk 5 seconds on your recurring revenue, right? Just briefly, just to let you give an answer, and then we'll have to move on to the next.
Yeah, no problem. So the way I'm able to see my recurring revenue is, for one, the results when they send in reviews. For 2, I also do different trade shows locally in Houston, as well sometimes in other states. But once I show back up, within the 2 weeks or 30 days that I come, they approach me and say, hey, I use your product, I need to get some more oil, as well as by selling the other products in my line. The 2 best sellers is my oil and my butter. So once they realize this is what I'm pushing forward is the oil and the butter, once they go to my website, then they realize, oh, she have other products. And so if the oil and butter is good, let's try other products. And that's when they start purchasing our other products.
Thank you, Audrey. Judges, may I request you to enter your scores?
Thank you all.
There has been one thing concerning me, especially in my care of expectant mothers: the fact that there are fatal gaps in maternal health. Of all developed countries, the United States leads in maternal health related deaths. However, what's more alarming is that more than half of pregnancy related maternal deaths occur after delivery, the postpartum period. As a doula in the Houston area, I have identified 5 critical areas of concern. Swollen. After giving birth, mothers will feel intense discomfort in the area for around 3 to 5 weeks. Hemorrhoids. Because the baby puts extra pressure around the rectum area, hemorrhoids can develop both during and after pregnancy. In fact, postpartum hemorrhaging is the 3rd most common cause of maternal death. There's infection because you are literally open, whether that is because you've had a C-section, belly birth, or a vaginal delivery. There's anxiety and damaged tissues. Most women can expect to experience pelvic floor trauma, which can cause considerable tissue damage. With these 5 critical areas in mind, Airbloom Co. has developed the Relief and Recovery Essentials. 4 products that address these critical areas of concern. The 3 products shown are for our postpartum period. All products were curated with the care in mind, but also as an homage to my Caribbean heritage. Being Jamaican, I have learned very early on that Mother Earth provides remedies to life's most complicated issues. The Heritage Bath is an ancestral guided blend of Caribbean herbs shown to resolve hemorrhoids, contractions, infections, and more. It is also known in Haitian culture as a Bane bath. There is the Peri oil, which is an organic infused massage oil to support tissue elasticity during childbirth. In fact, this peri oil has been our most common bought product, our bestseller, since launching last week, Friday. The Relief and Recovery Foam is what was created after seeing mothers, as a doula, postpartum mothers, trying to create what is known as padsicles. This is a ready-to-use formula. The Relief and Recovery Foam is to be pumped over a feminine pad to soothe the tissues of the perineum and the vulva after birth. Let's focus on the Relief and Recovery Foam, our premier product. As a doula in the Houston area, I have worked with postpartum moms who were exhausted. What they were seeing online were these DIY projects of creating what is known as padsicles, a time-consuming job for exhausted mothers. It required them to go to the store, buy several products, come home, mix these products together, then place this gel over a feminine pad, stick it in the freezer, then take it out. Time-consuming, right? So as a doula, my job is to ease that transition from pregnancy to postpartum to childcare. Within this Relief and Recovery Foam, there are 3 main ingredients: chamomile, aloe vera, and witch hazel. Before creating these products, I have looked at the competitive market. In fact, there is one competitor that creates a foam as well, a solution to the padsicles. However, it contains alcohol, a most common pain point for all the reviews that I've read on their website. As a doula, I know that I cannot do this work alone. In order to change the landscape of maternal health care, I had to form a team. The Heirloom Co team consists of 3 other dynamic women. One, who's a Reiki healer, an energy healer. Dr. McClurkin, who is a chiropractor, and a nurse practitioner, Ms. Copeland. Together, we form and we provide coveted services for expectant and postnatal mothers. Key partners. As I've said, Heirloom Co focuses on labor and birth, postpartum, and lactation. The products that you have just seen today is focused on the postpartum period. This is our product line, our first product line. Our key partners would be, of course, shipping companies such as UPS, or organic herbal suppliers such as Black and Brown Farmers, which we have already partnered with, and then Star West, providing our organic ingredients for all of our products. Members of the industry with major influence. Working as a doula for the past 2 years and under a celebrity midwife, I have been able to create long-lasting connections with doulas who have then used these products and provided them as gifts to their clients. So along with having maternity stores, birth centers, doulas, nurses, and maternal health providers as our key partners, we will still operate as a doula birth service, which means that I have a direct funnel to do business to consumer relations. Key activities of Heirloom Co consist of the following. We provide expectant and postnatal mamas with coveted services for comprehensive maternal health via the Collective. The Collective will be launching in August 2021. And what that is, it takes the weight off of me working as a sole owner of Heirloom Co and allows us to provide our services nationwide with ease. The Collective is a collective of maternal health providers. I have already put out the blast, and to date, after putting the blast out for a week, I have over 150 inquiries. People who want to be partnered with Heirloom Co to sell our products to their clients, but also use our reach in order to get more clients for themselves. This is a cost membership for professionals. Our next key activity is that Heirloom Co provides ready-to-use recovery care for postpartum mothers. Again, based on my own experience as serving expectant mothers, I have seen that there is a need for ready-to-use recovery care. This is not yet available in stores at all. We provide quick fulfillment and shipping, and there is that aspect of continuous discovery to remedy critical issues facing expectant and postpartum mothers. In order to form this discovery, I use a lot of social media. On Instagram alone, we've used that platform to provide our education. Once we have them gaining our education, there's that trust factor that has been developed, which we then introduce our products to them. It's important to note that PrEP and recovery care is financially accessible, naturally derived, and incredibly effective. All of these products are grounded in the traditions of my Caribbean heritage that has been time tested and shared throughout generations of my family. These are the 4 products: a belly butter, peri oil, heritage bath, and the relief and recovery foam. The investment that I am seeking is to increase brand awareness and to expand. Heirloom Co. has been so fortunate to have been recognized by Cornell University, HCC, I Fund Women, and countless other brands and organizations. The fact is, there is interest, there is a need, because maternal health care is not limited to Houston, Texas, or United States. This is something that is necessary globally. With this investment, I am seeking to further develop the digital marketing. I cannot do this work on my own. I would like to be able to hire a professional to head technical and creative side, ad creation and ad management. Second, a freelance writer. It is important to establish brand voice across all spectrums, especially with the different areas that we focus on. Clear communication alignment, and of course, informing outlets of efforts and products. Lastly, product placement. Influencers, event tabling, and having the product in brick and mortar stores. If you have any questions, you can contact us through the following mediums. I would like to leave the remaining time to focus on questioning and any concerns that you have.
Thank you, Kanisha. Judges?
Okay, well, yeah, we'll start with Ken first this time.
Okay,
Go ahead, Ken.
Great job, Kanisha. I agree with so much of what you said in terms of there's a real need, there's a global opportunity, there's some real issues here. Obviously, I'm not a woman who delivered a child myself, but I've got 4 kids of my own. And I used to work when I was a really young guy. I worked in an OBGYN setting at the original Boston Hospital for Women. So have seen a lot and probably know very little. But you know, one of the thoughts I had was around the OBGYN practitioners and whether or not they represent, you know, whether you represent a competitive threat to them or could they be allies? So again, don't need you to answer the question, but I'm curious to know whether or not we can leverage that community, you know, who are the traditional, you know, deliverers of these services. I think the world is moving in your direction in substantial ways. Probably not in a wholesale way. There are probably many women who would just prefer to continue to have their labor and delivery experience in a hospital. But that being said, those are some thoughts. Then, you know, how do we get to Oprah? You know, I think, you know, you're looking for an influencer that has substantial impact and substantial audience. And so how do we get this in front of somebody like Oprah? It doesn't have to be Oprah, but that would be great. Yep.
I would like to actually talk about your first point. So as a doula, the people that come to me is in response to what they are experiencing in traditional birth settings.
Yeah.
And so there is no competition between the OBGYN because a doula is not a clinical support. It's not a medical support. We are there for physical and emotional support.
Yeah.
So what I do is I make sure that I'm a liaison between these qualified birth teams. I also think it's important to mention that I am in school. I'm prepared to go to school in September for a nurse practitioner to major in maternal health. So as far as like, I myself have an OBGYN. So I have shared these products with her and she said, this is amazing. One, it helps her talk to her clients and feel at ease that, you know what, I am listening to what your concerns are and that you are seeking more natural solutions to whatever problems you have. As I said, on my team, I have a nurse practitioner. She has these products inside of her facility as well. And so I communicate and I share this with them because the fact of the matter is, I'm not the first one telling them this. By having them have a solution for whatever their client may come in with and say, you know what, I hear what you're saying. Actually, I know someone who does this. Maybe this can help you. As a doula, I am like naturally based. It's a lot of word of mouth. These products are just an extension of that because I realize it is not sustainable for me to be able to provide one-to-one high touch care to every person I hope to reach.
Okay, I'm gonna get the other judges in here too. I want to make sure that she gets another that's questions. Will, why don't you go, and then after Will, Benita, and then we'll circle back to Ken if we've got some time. So Will go next.
Thank you, Amy. Kanisha, you're very knowledgeable and passionate about this. It seems like you might be spreading yourself thin. So are you trying to push forward your doula business, your collective, or your product marketing business? Because investors are going to want to know where you're going to put your focus.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So what happens is everything is an extension. What I've realized is as a doula, when I first started off, I started off as a postpartum doula. What that meant is these mothers still needed my support thereafter, which is why I then had to look to providing comprehensive care. Every single phase of my business was launched at different times, and definitely when I saw the need for it. As a postpartum doula, I came in at the end. What they needed was someone to come in at the beginning of their pregnancy to remedy such problems and to kind of stop it before it began to exacerbate. So that's when I trained and became certified to work as a labor and birth doula. So as the doula business, which is the birth business, in order for when COVID hit in 2020, Texas hospitals were not allowing doulas to service mothers and support mothers inside the hospitals. I could not stop my business at that point. So that is when I looked toward providing products, which was basically the way I phrased it was like doula in a box. So all of my products that I would then provide in person was then able to be shipped out nationwide. I saw a growth there, and from there, my Instagram started blowing up. So this is where doulas themselves were starting to come to my page seeking guidance, like, oh, well, how did you do that? How did you make this birth business even larger? And that's when I started the collective. The point of the collective is to provide that care without me burning myself out. There's already people on the ground. All I have to do is collaborate.
Okay, let's get Miss Benita in here too. I know she's dying to ask some questions.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Kanisha, great job. I really love what you're doing. You know, have 2 children of my own, been there, done it. So what I wanted to ask is that, you know, there are many cultures out there. They have these homemade oils, multiple types of massage oils. And what to me, this seems like a massage oil. I don't quite understand why would a peri oil be different than what I used. How was that oil? How was any massage oil different than this? So I'd like to see some more proof of how this helps. And, you know, I know you talked about some other issues such as anxiety and solar joints or body. I guess, how does this tackle or, you know, really affect those ailments? So I want that correlation before I'd be, you know, interested to go and purchase this product. So if you can help me understand.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. So what I have displayed here is more information about the peri oil. So the peri oil, the base of it is baobab oil. So this plant is iconic to the native African landscape, and it is rich in antioxidants, vitamin A, B, C. These are all essential vitamins and minerals that expectant mothers need. But particularly with this oil, it serves to have tissue elasticity. Along with this oil, it includes ylang ylang, which supports that anxiety. So that smell good area. Of course, you know, you're massaging a very, you know, intimate area. All right. So you want to make sure that it does have a good smell to it. It is organic. Every single ingredient that I use is organic. More proof. What I am working on now is because I used to just make these products for my clients. So it wasn't that I required reviews or anything. Now that I have launched it, I am in the space of getting concrete reviews for, you know, people like you who may not be familiar with it and want more tangible results. So I am in the process of gathering those reviews now. But there's more piece.
We're on time. I'm going to keep us going and keep us on schedule. Thank you very much, Kanisha, and thank you, judges. I'm passing it back to Samia.
Okay, judges, we are going to ask you to enter your scores and get the next team ready. We have 3 more teams.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mariana Quemolen, and my co-founder is Karina Rodriguez, and we are NISA Effect, a femtech menopause company. It's not clicking, sorry. So our mission is to create effective products that relieve the symptoms of menopause while also ending the stigma around menopause. And our vision is that we believe that women over 40 should still have products and that their health matters. But you're probably wondering, what are we offering? Well, let me walk you through a scenario. Imagine being trapped in a sauna for 6 minutes. The heat is rising, the beads of sweat are running down your face. This is what a hot flash feels like. 80% of women in menopause experience hot flashes, which can last 5 to 20 minutes, and they can occur many times per week. And they basically raise your skin temperature up to 104 degrees. This is a big issue, and they pretty much can't do anything. Could you imagine running a shift or running a business or doing a presentation with a hot flash? It's pretty crazy. Coolette, our bra attachment, will increase the time that women can spend on their life by automatically and quickly alleviating their hot flashes. And how this works is that we spoke to over 100 women, and we realized that they were all saying that the hot flashes started in their core and rose up. So our product has direct contact to the core. It is placed inside a bra, and it has a bra attachment that attaches to that bra. But this direct contact is important, but it's most important because it's an automatic solution. Basically, it has a skin temperature sensor that automatically knows when her skin temperature is rising and will in there conduct the cooling. So here's an explanation further of how it works. It is a heat sink that pulls the heat from her back, pulls it outwards, and in turn making her feel cooler without her having to go run to get water, stick her head in the freezer, which is what they actually do, and she can just go on by with her day. Voila, comfort, relief, control. So
but there are those like Review Commons who are introducing journal independent peer review, albeit still voluntary. And then there are other tech companies that offer publication and review services like Research Square and Authoria, and younger publishing groups like eLife that are exploring new technological ways to improve the publishing process. It's worth mentioning that most of these newer techs have already been acquired by the big 5 existing publishers in the industry. So how big is this industry? Well, I mentioned a few times that it was $30 billion in total, and that accounts for 2.2 new articles published annually around the world. We begin segmenting this total market by the types of articles submit to best estimate our future users. Of the 2.2 million articles published, 660 were published in an open access manner, and 260 of those, 1,000 of those were published on preprint repositories. We proportionally scale that revenue to estimate our target market to be around 5 billion. And we suspect scientists that publish on preprints are most likely to explore new techs like our platform. And this market grows in tandem with the growth of global research output that has been growing exponentially since the 1900s, robust to famines, world wars, and even pandemics. So how are we going to make money? Our market operates on a credit system with an exchange rate of about 1 credit per $3. Users can purchase credits from us or earn them through peer revision. We also charge an equivalency of $15 service fee per use of our MAP or peer review process. Additionally, we charge 50 credits to publish on our platform, and that goes towards converting your submission to a highly connected web document that enables personal monetization of your publication through our planned scientific vendor-based advertisement technology that I didn't quite have enough time to talk about today. Being a scientist, I naturally fashioned a composite model which takes into account the global output of scientific publications and the early article acquisition rates of newer technologies like preprint repositories to predict our revenue. In the first year after our launch, with our peer review marketplace up and running, we expect to generate $2.6 million in revenue, and upon launching our publishing platform in the following year, that annual revenue will grow exponentially to 83 million in 5 years, taking into account only the aforementioned services and publishing fees. And we've already got an incredibly diverse and talented team building this product. We've got myself as the CEO, product manager, and data scientist, my best friend for more than 15 years, our co-founder and CTO, who, this is my favorite statistic about him, has a batting average of 100% in the startup world. He's helped grow 2
to use a consumer product that they don't have to actually put in their body. The gynecologists can send them to us for their hot flashes, which we have already started relationships with gynecologists and also referrals. To every 1 woman that buys our product, it is known that they will bring another 2 ladies to buy our products and increasing our customers. And then we are planning to do direct-to-consumer online retail for the time being. We are planning on going into stores later on. In our traction, so we have actually been published by 2 different blogs and by other femtech companies, which has brought in customers and followers. We have over 200 social media followers as of now, and we have over 800 visitors on our website. This was all just recently started through our past accelerator last summer. So we are in the prototype section right now. So we don't have an actual product, but we are building up our customers. And let's talk about the market. So the menopause market, it's 600 billion, but the hot flashes market, which we are entering, is at 2.8 billion. We are planning on selling Coolette at $99, and it's going to cost us $20 to make. So we'll have an 80% gross margin per device. Our estimated first year revenue is $120,000. That's including sales and marketing, and obviously publishments and relationships we have with gynecologists and so on. And our business model. So for our key metrics, we will measure the success of Coolette by including doctor and customer testimonials on our website. A little bit like how you saw earlier, revenue streams, we'll have an initial cost for Coolette, and then we'll have different shapes so it can fit different types of bras and different colors. The actual cooling device will have a lifetime of 4 years. Our cost structure, our initial costs include website maintenance, founder salary, and test trials and marketing. Our channels, we're currently involved with the femtech industry. We have great relationships, so we already have people that will publish us whenever we have our device ready to go. Our early adopters will be women who are following us on social media and who are following us on our website, and who are going to hear about us from their friends and gynecologists. And our customers are women in the age range of 40 to 55. This includes women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, because believe it or not, menopause is not just menopause. Women will have side effects even before and after they go through the actual menopause period. And something we want to highlight is the racial inequality with menopause. I know it might sound crazy, but actually women from different cultures enter menopause earlier and experience more severe symptoms. So we are planning on partnering with them more and trying to help them with their hot flashes as early as possible. And our founders include Mariana Kimbolan. She's an industrial design major. And she's also a social media coordinator for Femtech Focus. Again, being easy for us to establish our relationship with other femtech companies and followers. And she brings in the whole product and design aspect of our business. And we work perfectly because me, Karina Rodriguez, I am an entrepreneurship and marketing major from the Wolf Center for Entrepreneurship at the UH College of Business. So I bring all of the marketing and entrepreneurship side of things, business side of things, and I'm also social media coordinator for another startup. And then our amazing advisors consist of Dr. Brittany Barreto, who is a serial entrepreneur and is actually a co-founder of Femtech Focus and a venture capitalist, and Dr. Julie Hakeem, which is our very first OBGYN who we have partnered with and who we have researched with. Now we have our 2021 and 2022 forecast. So we are currently prototyping and testing. We'll have a pilot launch manufacturing winter 2021, and then our finalized business plan spring 2022, and then customer pre-launch and orders by summer 2022. In the future of NISA Effect, we are planning to create an app where the woman will be able to track and share their hot flashes with their doctors. We are seeking $250 for R&D and to have our final product by the end of 2022. And thank you so much. We are NISA Effect. Help us help women take control of their menopause journey. Now we are open for questions.
Perfect. Very good, ladies. I'm going to start off with Vanita. I'm rotating here. So we start off with different judges. You're on. You have any questions?
I believe you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Vanita.
Okay. No, great job, Karina and Mariana. I mean, I haven't quite experienced it yet, but I hear that a lot of women are going through it or go through it from at different age within a different age group. So this is a genuine problem, and you guys are solving an issue that exists, and it can be severe for certain women. So I think there's definitely a need out there, and you are addressing the market. My question again is around the prototype. I know you mentioned that you do have a prototype. I was just wondering whether these belts, how do the belts look? Do they weigh heavy? Are they discreet? I mean, will they show from the outside? Because we like to wear seamless undergarments. So definitely we don't want this to be popping out and this to be showing. So my question was really around the design aspect and the product aspect of the solution. And also, if you said, you did mention that there was a lady who just inserted a gel and that solved the problem, then if something as simple as the gel tablet can solve a problem, then why do you really need a belt?
Yeah, I can answer both of those. So for your first question, the actual design of this isn't a device with a attachable like fabric component, right? So the device can be taken off and put to charge, but the reason why we have this fabric component is so that it actually holds on to the bra. And so we designed it in a way that it'll attach to most bras, but as we mentioned, we can have multiple different types. And in terms of size, you can kind of see here like an in context shot that it is only about half of an inch thick, and you won't be able to see. It's not see-through. I just kind of wanted you to see where it would be right on her. And yeah, so they pretty much don't affect you. You don't see it through the clothes. It doesn't like start making water and suddenly you have water on your blouse. Totally discreet. And when your second question, so yes, the pod worked, but the reason we tried it with that is because we want to see, first of all, like how cool do we want it to be? But it works for the woman now because yeah, she was at home, right? But it didn't automatically work. She had to go to the fridge, get it, and put it in. But there are no fridges when you're at work or when you're doing a big presentation. So the whole idea, like they kept saying, you have literally no time to do anything about it. So they really wanted something that was immediate. So with this, the skin temperature sensor is already, working, making sure that her temperature is fine. And then once it sees that spike, it'll activate the cooling.
Okay, next question, Will.
So perhaps you could describe how this device would work. You say it's a battery-powered device. Is this something you think will be patentable, and how then is it going to be manufactured?
Yes.
Yeah, so I can start off and then I'll let you finish, Karina. So this device is a heat sink, like I said. So it is electrical. It takes like a little motor, and just basically what it does is it pulls the heat and pushes it outward. So we do believe that one can have a design patent because, we're saying this is going to be at the core and with our fabric component. But Karina can talk more about the patent.
Yeah, so for the patent manufacturer, we're actually talking to some designers right now and engineers right now that are helping us with the actual prototype. And then for manufacturing, we are looking into textiles manufacturers and for the actual battery component for people overseas. So right now it's in the works, and that's why it's only $20 to produce, because it's going to be cheap. To give you an idea, the battery is similar to a phone battery. So it's very small. It's the size of a quarter. So that will be inexpensive to produce. So yeah, so by the end of next year, we'll have, or this year, we'll have a patent and have our manufacturers. Does that answer your question?
No, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's move on and let Ken ask a question.
Yeah, we've got one question because we're way behind. Our Dallas teams are going faster. So Ken, ask us one quick question, and we're going to have to go to the next team.
You know what? I can keep it short on this one.
Okay.
I do think the problem / opportunity is real. My question really aligns well with Will's, which is I'm really interested in, product design, manufacturability, durability, some of the other issues that I'm sure you're grappling with. So, we can pick it up offline or later, but there are clearly some design, engineering, and manufacturing challenges here, which I'm sure you're tackling. And, I know you guys well through Brittany and Founders Compass and whatnot. So, always happy to pick it up and be a resource any way I can be. Thanks, Wendy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, judges. Good job, ladies. Samian?
Yeah, we just need to give some time to the judges to enter their scores, and we'll ask Purva, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, great. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen just to make sure we're good. Okay, we're ready to go to the next one. Apurva?
Yeah. Can everyone see the screen and then also hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, just a second. Let me
Loud
get
and
the
clear.
clock going. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, start.
Hi, everyone. My name is Apurva, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Clocker. Clocker is an all-in-one digital legacy management and emergency planning platform. When I was in high school around 2015, my grandfather passed away. And obviously, as you can imagine, our family was grief-stricken and dealing with a huge emotional burden and left with these boxes of documents, and we had no idea what his last wishes were. It was then that I told myself that other families shouldn't have to go through all of this, and along with the logistics and legalities that come with a death in the family. So with a Gen Z mindset of someone who grew up in the digital age and working on a degree in MIS, with my dad and co-founder, we came together to create Clocker. So really, there's two main problems with the legacy planning industry that we've identified. The first is that there's no easy way to store important information about your assets and manage your beneficiaries. The second is that you need to have a plan to legally pass on your online accounts and digital assets. So with the pandemic, obviously, you all saw what happened this past year. We really didn't expect the impact to be what it was. And it was obviously, I don't want to talk about too much, but all over the news, families, loved ones, and friends were left behind. And we see stories of, friends and family not knowing how to help out people that, they wanted to help because they had no idea what their last wishes were, where to find important legal information and things like that. Going on to the second problem that the legacy planning industry has, there are studies that show over 125 online accounts assigned per email. And so these accounts can hold important and valuable information such as photos, videos, medical records, artwork, online money payments, and so much more. Secondly, most people don't realize that there are privacy rules that don't allow you to just share simply a Google Sheets or a Google Doc or even Post-its with their passwords, which you've heard a lot of people do. These laws are called RUFADA, which basically outline guidelines for how to legally pass on your online accounts and digital assets. So we address all of this with Clocker. We enable you to legally pass on your digital property to your heirs and securely manage and pass on important information. So I'll take you through a quick demo of our platform since I think this is the easiest way to kind of show what we do. So first we take you through a series of simple questions. This is actually one of our biggest differentiators. We have a really easy onboarding process. So we ask you a few questions about yourself. You can then add a contact to add as a beneficiary later on in the process. Then we take you to your estate plan where you can completely customize what online accounts you'd like to have in there and which you'd like to not include because you don't have them or don't use them. So as you can see, it makes it really easy for you to select the online accounts that you do have instead of manually trying to upload all of this information. So next, this is your plan. You can then assign beneficiaries and other important either login information or other last wishes for even what accounts you want to be closed or don't want to be closed to be passed on to the beneficiaries.
Next, we're going to take you through our digital vault. Our recommendation engine, based on the questions you answered, automatically creates folders for important information for what you should upload and track as important information. You can also opt in to add an additional layer of security for specific documents, which is another one of our differentiators. Then you can assign to people who you want to have access to them, how much access they can have, and when they can have access to it, whether that's now or upon disbursement. Our last feature that I'll take you through now is our time capsule, which basically allows you to pass on, right now, text messages, but later video and audio messages to be opened in a future time, whether that's a special date or upon disbursement. So basically, we're providing you a place to store all of your important information and really pass on your legacy when the time comes. So these are the three features that I talked about today. The first is the digital legacy plan for the online accounts. Second is the time capsule to pass on messages. The third one is the digital vault, where you can have granular access over passing on information. Two things that I didn't talk about that we are working on now is what we call our ICE vault in case of emergency, for having readily accessible emergency information like your blood type, medicine allergies, medication history, anything that you'd like to have in case of an emergency if you are not able to communicate that information for your emergency contacts, and also a share with me dashboard to know that who's assigned you to be that trusted person for their family or for themselves. So a bit about our competition. There's a lot of point solutions in the market, but we really bring all these features into one roof. We take concepts like cloud storage and beneficiaries and we bring it to a whole other level, including digital legacy planning, beneficiary dashboard, digital estate law compliance, and advanced security platform that no others are doing today. So a bit about the security platform that I've mentioned so many times. We basically take shredding technology and add another layer of protection. Most companies today, they solely use encryption, which we do for everything that comes into our platform. But for that added layer of peace of mind and security, our patent pending security acts as a digital shredder. We take your files, encrypt the pieces, and distribute them across multiple storage buckets, which was created by my co-founder. So for pricing and go-to-market, we have two strategies. First is B2B2C, second is B2C. So this pricing is for the end user. As you can see, we have very limited cost, which is essentially just storage per subscription. So the markup is really big for us, which is good. On the B2B2C side, we've identified many verticals and many use cases for our services, but these are the ones that we have received the most excitement from recently and the ones that we're planning to focus on the most, particularly financial planners and senior living. So a bit about the total addressable market at $2,000 per year for channel partners and $50 per year for individuals. We get over $5 billion in total addressable market in the US, just focusing on financial planners and senior living. So I also wanted to note that this total number does not include other verticals, including individual families and adults that use our self-service platform, financial institutions, estate lawyers, and other verticals where we received interest as well. So in order to get these connections and get these partnerships, we've brought on a lot of CFPs and senior living advisors to our advisory board. They have many, many years of experience in the industry, and they've helped us actually design our product from the early on and are also coming on to our pilot program as well. So this is CFPs, and this is our senior living advisory board, which is also doing the same thing for senior living. So a bit about our journey. We launched actually our newest redesign for the UX a couple weeks ago and added a couple of features, including our time capsule and business users. We're starting a pilot program in the next few weeks with CFPs and senior living, also adding that ICE vault. The 3 months after that, we're working on a stealth project and also adding some video audio capabilities for time capsule, but also really kind of going from that product focus to more on establishing sales with channel partners and individual users. So we also plan to innovate this industry with the latest technology. We have lots of plans to really make this really easy to use and make this as useful as we can to our customers. So some of those include AI guided time capsule, adding suggestive questions. Oh, you said you had children. Is there anything you want to tell them for their birthday? Things like that. Additionally, suggestive insights about your legacy plan. So, in the initial questionnaire, if you say that you have children, just a guided question saying, you told us that you had children. Have you considered putting a guardianship document in place? Not looking at any documents that you've put into the platform, but simply going off the questions that you answered for us. Some other things include blockchain powered disbursement, additionally for authentication for those who choose to use that, automation of account closeout, and so much more. So a bit about our traction. Just over the past 6-7 months, we received huge industry validation from many different pitch competitions, one of them being TiE 50 Awards last year, which actually led us to being a contestant on Meet the Drapers just this February, including a lot of media mentions as well, who are really understanding the importance of having a centralized location for everything. So some of our other traction, we have around 9,000 organic subscribers, seeing 20% month-over-month growth. We've been in some really great conversations with a large financial institution, and we've also trying to test out markets like Canada and India to focus on after we kind of get the US in place as well. So our financial projections, this is only looking at channel partners at $2,000 per year. There's huge area for growth in this area, which is why we are planning to focus on this rather than trying to educate the individual customer and family. This is really where we see our plan for growth, particularly with financial institutions as well. So we are asking for a $750,000 investment. This is just, our total funding round. We've actually closed most of it, leaving around 188,000, which is open. We are also asking for strategic connections in all these different industries that I mentioned before, really to build up our channel partners. So to conclude it all, don't leave your grieving loved ones hanging, and don't leave them to leave a legal and logistical mess. Show your loved ones that you care by planning ahead of time for the next phase of your life. We invite you to join us in paving the way to providing peace of mind to our families. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'd now love to answer any questions you have.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to go Will, Ken, and then Benita. We're going to try to catch up on speed, one question each. First up is Will.
All right, well, thank you. So I have I'll call a minor question and a major question. I'll start with the major question, and that is kind of where are you on your development pathway? You have a minimum viable product and it's in the market and being tested, or you still need to do further development? Because you obviously have to not only have, the demo you showed was very good, but you've got to have all the background, the storage, and the redundancy to make sure this is a reliable product. So where are you on that development and deployment? And the minor question is, where did this name come from?
Yeah, so I'll answer the minor question first. It comes from combining the words cloud locker. Basically, CL is cloud and locker is for locker. Just that's kind of where we came up with the name. In terms of your bigger question, the product is ready to use today. All the development changes that we made in the past few months, we just added to our platform. So you could go in today, use our platform. The demo that we showed, those are the changes that went live in the past couple of weeks. Some are coming live in the end of this month. So we're just continually making changes to things, but it's ready to use. That's what our subscribers are using today. And so really where the development we're working on right now is for that back end for channel partners. So having a dashboard for clients, view for financial planners and senior living operators, that's the piece we're still working on, but the end product is ready.
Okay, Ken, you're up next.
I was really impressed with your offering last night when I first went through it. I'm even more impressed now. I see other potential channels of distribution. I think my question is less to poke holes and more just what do you feel? You've done an amazing job, and I had a friend, a former work colleague. She passed away. Her link, and this was 6 months ago. Her LinkedIn profile is still up. So I think there's no, and I was reflecting on my own experience, and there's so much of this work that I need to do for myself and for my own family. And you're always kicking the can down the road because you don't want to think about it. Anyway, what's your biggest challenge? Like if I had a magic wand or a genie in a bottle, what would you wish any one of us could do for you that would really accelerate your trajectory? That's my question.
Yeah, so I'm sorry to hear about your coworker. We've gotten people, someone whose friend passed away, they still get Facebook notifications for their birthday. So this is a really thing that people don't think about. But in terms of our biggest challenges right now, it's really bringing on channel partners, right? We have a lot of connections organically through our advisory connections, but it's kind of this two-sided. Well, we want to see that you're big enough if we're going to be able to trust you with this information, but in order to get big enough, we need to bring on channel partners. So really at this point, we're looking to bring on those people that are looking for an additional value add for their customers to bring onto the platform. We've had some conversations with financial institutions, and they also want to see, obviously, these bigger companies where we see ourselves heading. So really that piece of that sales channel partners piece, bringing them on, is what we're trying to focus on today. And one thing that I would say is our biggest priority right now.
Yeah, and I would leverage the networks of, you know, churches and synagogues and temples, and I'm sure you've already thought of that, but you know, there's a huge distribution channel there, and all of this stuff is connected. And anyway, thanks, Wendy.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you.
Anita?
Yes. Am I muted? Yeah, good. Great job, Apurva. Very impressive. I mean, like Ken, I was very impressed last night. Just looks like a wonderful project. And it seems very intuitive as well. You know, I mean, it's a problem. We can relate to it. We've seen it in all our families. And, you know, so great solution to a common problem. My sort of a little bit of concern would be that, of course, security must be one of the biggest important sort of aspects of managing a database system such as this. And what happens if it gets tampered, right? So how do you, I mean, I'm sure that's a common problem again everywhere, but have you thought about it? I mean, there could be some very drastic consequences, right? If it's tampered versus a paper, a legal document cannot as such be tampered. So so is your competition really a paper document which is kept in a locker or not?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we get this all the time as well. So thank you for bringing it up. In terms of security, a lot of we've seen breaches of really big companies. The one that I always think of as Capital One. You know, these really large companies, they're not doing everything they can to protect data because their priorities are elsewhere, whether that's for external breaches or even internal breaches as well. So our mindset is that we are going to try to do whatever we can ahead of time instead of preparing for something to happen afterwards, which obviously you need to have a contingency plan, but doing as much work as we can beforehand, which is why we developed the security platform to not just have everything that people view as what needs to be more secure all in one place, whether that's the cloud provider or even someone's account. But why we developed that security platform is so that it's adds another layer of protection, and only the user that's logging into the account can piece together that information, which helps, you know, for internal breaches, but also external breaches as well. You can't piece together if it's not in one place. So that's really how we're trying to address the security question ahead of time. And I don't know, I don't remember if you had a second question.
I mean, you've answered it, yes. So
okay, so we're good there. Thank you very much. Thank you, judges. And then remind the judges to go and submit their scores now, and then we'll get the next participant up on screen. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to go to the next. Last but not the least, Carlos, you're up.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. And
perfect.
Give me a second, I'm going to start. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and start.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for your time and also your patience. Today, I'm Carlos Bertrand, founder of our high impact Good Neighbor program at the University of St. Thomas. Good Neighbor is a student-led virtual entrepreneurship education program designed for high schoolers. Our service is performed by volunteers, students, in close collaboration with our College of Business, with our College of Education bilingual programs, with our International Studies Center, and with our McNair Center for Entrepreneurship and Free Enterprise. In the next decades, 1 in 3 Americans will be Hispanic. The Hispanic population in the US is also the youngest one, with more than 40% under the age of 21. As low income and young migrant Hispanics students pass through the US school system, weak student, teacher, and parent relationships continue to undermine their academic success. Bilingual programs have emerged as the most effective solutions for Hispanic students, but the shortage of bilingual educators remain chronic in the US. These are tough problems, but at the same time, our opportunities. Without entrepreneurship education necessary to pursue college, many Hispanic students remain deprived of the opportunity to escape poverty. With a good neighbor, we are focusing primarily on migrant children and low-income high schooler students in Title I and newcomer schools in the US. The number of young Latinos could grow more than 30 million, which would be around the population of Canada or California. In time, we plan to team up with our nonprofits working also in rural schools in Central America to help curb the dangerous migration of children to the US with online vocational entrepreneurship education provided in Spanish. A good neighbor, bilingual students tutor Title I and newcomer students, and also IB high schoolers through the entrepreneurship process from idea creation to launching their project. In doing so, Title I and newcomer students can participate for free, and this is included in their enrichment programs, currently under budgeted. And IB students, they can satisfy their IB curriculum service project, which requires them for hours of service, learning also of the many opportunities and resources available on bilingual education and entrepreneurship at the university. This is happening right now at the university. We are not alone, but for-profit and universities, they focus primarily on higher income students. And the many nonprofits that are offering education of this type, they do not have the pedagogical resources to customize their training programs, especially to cater to a large T1, Title I school. Our online ranking at the university has remained strong through the pandemic, and our Good Neighbor program fits very well within the university innovation roadmap. With our professional social entrepreneurs and bilingual educators, we can deliver a unique online experience engineered to develop the future entrepreneurs. We do this following our Catholic mission of pursuing excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. We're currently working on our pilot program with OTI International here in Houston, whose IB project this year is to build a new school and kindergarten in rural Honduras. This is in Central America for this summer. We are also offering a class, will be offering a class to HISD Las Americas Newcomer School later this fall. Our young star, you can see her on the top left. She is tutoring our pilot class at OTI International. And the OTI team has already deployed their projects, and they are now about 60% from their $12,500 goal. You can see their website in the bottom center. And Armanda, our UST grad, she is also OTI alumna. So she went full circle this spring, teaching entrepreneurship to not only her new pupils, but also to her old high school teachers. You can see also before and after photos of the IV projects. This is the one in previous year. They didn't have any bathrooms, and the OT students, they travel, work, and dedicate the new school during the summer break. For OT, we customize the entrepreneurship curriculum in our Google Classroom nonprofit platform. This is free to meet their IB service project needs. We can replicate this model for other IB schools in the US and Latin America. For Las Americas, we collaborate with the enrichment program faculty for student selection and mentoring, and we'll try to integrate their class into the HISD hub system or through their MS Teams. Even though Good Neighbor is free to HISD students, they are required to be mentors for future classes. This is our fantastic team from left to right. Dr. Ludwig, he's our president and Catholic fearless leader. Dr. Rimbao, she is our expert developing bilingual high school teachers at the College of Education. Dr. Wook, he is famous here in TiE and good friend of Ravi. He is our social entrepreneurship expert and director of the McNair Center. And on the right, Dr. Valderas, he is our director of Latin American Studies and Study Abroad. And at the bottom center, she is our superstar. She is Dr. Marie Moreno. She is brand new doctor from our education college. She was also director of Las Americas Newcomer School. Please Google her. She has fantastic story. She is extremely famous. The school also is phenomenal, and we all love them. And we are very Houston proud. These are our high-level conservative projections. We can be cash flow positive in our first year of operation. With the TiE price and your fantastic network support, we'll be able to continue our important journey and work of mercy. Below are three famous Harvard doctors and DACA dreamers. So you can see that helping others, you can say opportunity seized. Thank you very much for your time and for your trust today.
Thank you, Carlos. Let's start. I'm going to still continue with the one question rapid fire. I'll start off with Ken first. The floor is yours.
You know, I don't even know where to start. You know, I really don't. Actually, can I defer to someone else?
Oh yeah, I'll start off with.
I have an entire page full of, you know, comments and questions and observations. I adopted, you know, just very briefly, I adopted an orphanage in the Dominican Republic years ago. I've been a huge supporter. I've engaged in education. I think, you know, it's less of a question, it's more of a how to, given that there's a substantial amount of activity, and so I'm not deferring, sorry. So given that there's already a substantial amount of effort in this space, you know, how do we not create another silo? How do we effectively partner with the other NGOs and 501c3s? I know the IB world very, very well. I know about CAS projects. Where is Bina George in your roster? You know, she's a UST entrepreneurship.
She's our innovation chief. Yes, and actually she and me and Dr. We sat together. This has been even pre-COVID, and it was interesting when we were trying to envision this, because actually one of the big risks we had was to send our students, let's say, to Las Americas, the risk of a accident in a bus, let's say. But now, after COVID, with all of these technologies giving so much access, I think that we are at a point where we need to share. You mentioned how you do not create a silo. I'm also alum from University of Houston. And I did talk to the guys there at Wolf, and they are willing to go for it as well. It's just a matter of volume. And we know that because this is a passion project and it's based on volunteers. So when we reach a point where our base of bilingual students is completely booked, then University of Houston is more than happy to also team up. And
so let me not interrupt and let me not hijack the entire conversation, but I think, I'd love to talk with you offline. Let's find a mutually convenient time to talk. Would love to help and love to help you connect some dots. And I have some specific suggestions about how we might be able to move forward together. So let me close with that.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Thanks,
My
Ken.
pleasure.
Anita?
Yeah, so Carlos, great job. My son also, we did IB and we did have a CAS project, and it's very intense, and it's you do need a lot of support to put it all together. But I am still a little confused with what Good Neighbor is doing. I picked up the bilingual piece. I also picked up the vocational education. Then it ties in with this CAS or this trying to form programs with schools so that you can enable students to, to achieve a socially responsible project to complete it for their curriculum. So I am a little confused. I don't understand how it's flowing and it's.
I can clarify for you. Previously, when Ravi invited us to present, we were finalists for St. Thomas. I was challenged to look at the model and see if it was possible to do a hybrid setup that is not only for Las Americas, let's say, children, but also how do we, because there is another dimension to this, and it's like, how do we entice bilingual students to become teachers? Because that's the problem that we are facing in the Hispanic community. So you see here, Armanda, she is a fantastic bilingual, perfect, fluent in Spanish, but she didn't know that she had the vocation for teaching. And now seeing her, it's like you have an angel and you put him on a ladder, and then you take out the ladder, and now the angel knows that she can fly. So this, we are forced to do this with our bilingual base, because there is not enough Latinos wanting to become teachers. So this is a twofold effort, where young students, by teaching, they teach themselves entrepreneurship, but at the same time, they later on, the experience that they had at the university, combined with their Catholic values, with their character, all of a sudden there is a callback to support with their own people, no? So
just let me get Will, because I want to get the last question in so that we don't run out of time. Will, your question, please.
Well, it's a very inspirational presentation, but I'm still left with a lot of questions because it's not 100% clear to me really what you're offering and what your ask is at this point. It would be very helpful if you were really clear on what this program offers that is somehow differentiated from all the other things out there. And what is your ask at this point?
Yeah, our ask, of course, I don't know if you had time to look at the numbers, but we can be self-sufficient. However, because in nonprofit, you are able to grow faster because you are able to share resource, you are able to share ideas. It's a lot easier than in a for-profit environment. We believe that for us, teaming up with TiE is perfect in that end of the coaching, of the environment. As far as the price, we'll be happy to take your $1,000 and use it for good use to fund future classes for future schools. There is a tremendous need at the border, as you know, of children coming in unaccompanied, and they can be perfectly high schoolers with good education, but they are put in a cell in a jail, and then when they come out and they are put in a newcomer school, they need at least 6 months just to get the trauma out of their systems. And these public schools, they don't have enrichment programs. We went talking to Marie Moreno, she was destroyed. The only program they had was
Carlos,
a
Ravi
photography
here.
class.
I
Yeah.
want to I want to give everybody an update. TiE Dallas team has wrapped up. Judges, we do need to move forward here. So, at this time, I want to ask all the students. Thank you so much for your pitches, judges. We do need the score for the last entry here submitted. So go ahead and do this, students. Uh, while the judges are deliberating here, please go back to the main room, enjoy the music. There is a link there to be part of the TiE University alumni LinkedIn group. Do join there. Again, thanks to all of the students. Carlos, if you want to take the screen off for me there, to stop your share, please. And then we do request all of the students to move back to the main room once again. And by the way, before you move, just hang on. Dr. Paul Lopez is here, so I want to give him just a minute to tell everybody. Dr. Lopez is the co-chair of the TiE Global, or the TiE University at Global. So Dr. Lopez, any words of wisdoms for our judges and our students who took part in our track today?
Well, first of all, congratulations for spending a Saturday working on stuff like this when you could be doing something at the park or wherever it is that you do in Houston this time of year. So in that regard, congratulations. I'll tell you how you really become winners. If you take your idea and launch it, and or if you've launched it, if you scale it. And the best way to do that is stay connected with TiE. The resources I know for the last 8 years have helped me grow my business. It is the best networking organization. So what I tell the students, what I tell the judges / mentors, let's stay connected, and we'll all make our communities proud if in fact you go and grow your own entrepreneurial journey. So thanks so much to all of you, irrespective of which side of the table you were in. All the best. Look forward to meeting up with one of your teams at the next step in the global program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lopez. All right, students, so with that, let's go ahead and get you to move over to the main room. Judges, you can stay here. We will start the judges' deliberation process here as soon as all the grades have come in, or the scores have come in. Judges, we do have about 10 minutes for you to discuss. So let me have all the students be moved into the main room. At this time, I will also be moving some students if they're still here.
Hey, Carlos is here, Ravi.
No worries, we'll move him. We'll get all the students to go into the main campus. Enjoy the music, and there is a link there, an activity on LinkedIn for you to join. So please do that. And judges, just wait a few more minutes here. Pradeep is actually in, he's doing the recording, so it's okay. We'll leave Pradeep in the room. Mr. Win, I will be moving you. Thanks for watching the tracks. We appreciate you joining in. Let me go ahead and
Thank you, Ravi.
No worries. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed, sir.
I did.
Appreciate it.
Likewise. All right. All right, everybody, just a minute to go. We will announce the winners in a little bit. So get back, turn back your cameras. So Satyajit, how are you doing?
I'm good, Ravi. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, my kids have sound and music in the background. So I'm good. I'm excited. We have the slides ready. And let's just make sure we get everybody back in, including our judges, including our presidents, including our students. So if you all get back in and just get your camera turned back on, looks good. What a Saturday, huh?
Yes, Ravi. If I may, I just want to say our TiE Dallas charter president is here around. And I need to tell him that as part of TiE, he has spent, outside of TiE, he spends a lot of time on the golf course and money. I think this probably was the best experience you have had. Right, Ram?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Satyajit.
So no more golf, Ram. This is where we need you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just kidding. All right. Ravi, back to you.
Awesome. So I am going to start spotlighting some people, including our judges. So just hang tight while I get everybody spotlighted. Ram, you're going to be spotlighted here and so forth. Judges, it would help me tremendously if you just raise your hand and I'll bring you up on the, so I can spotlight you quickly. Any co-host can help me as well? That would. There we are.
We are still missing
Judges,
someone.
if you just raise your hand there and get yourself to get spotlighted.
You want our virtual hand or our actual hand?
What?
I've got you're spotlighted. You're good. Let's get
We are missing Sunny from Dallas.
Yeah, I'm just looking for him.
Yes, and Tina unfortunately will not be able to join.
Okay, no worries. All right, Sunny, I found you. Thank you so much. And I think did I get them all, Satyajit?
Yes, from Dallas. Mayur, I don't know. I think we got all of us.
Okay. All right, so with that, let me remind everybody the benefits. So students, this is the benefits of being part of the group. So I'm not going to read them all to you. Just heads up that we welcome you into the TiE ecosystem, and we are so glad that you're taking you're showing up. You're showing up to this competition. So I appreciate you doing this. And next reminder, it's more than a competition. This is not the end. It doesn't matter if you win or you don't win. There's a lot more happening, which you should benefit by just showing up and participating. As I mentioned, that the student access will give you to different events at their local chapters, and we're so thankful for all of the actually both the chapters for making that available. So thank you so much, and let's keep moving forward. I want to remind everybody here what happens from here on. So today we're going to announce our local chapter winners as well as runner-ups for the TiE Dallas and TiE Houston. And our intent here is that we will make the necessary paperwork that's needed to submit them as TiE Texas teams into the TiE global competition that's currently scheduled. So you see on the timeline there on May 6th and 7th, there is a TiECon, which is one of the world's largest conference. All of the students will get access to the TiECon the conference virtually. You can attend, including the winners. The winning team will additionally get access to a boot camp that's offered by a Stanford faculty that will be offered before the TiE conference. So the winning team will definitely hear from us. We'll get you squared away and get you all of these things. Once you go to the conference, attend those boot camps, the teams progressing forward will have a TiE Global semifinals that's at May 15th, scheduled also virtually. And then the TiE Global Finals. Now, I want to tell you that May 16th at this point is a tentative date. It can be pushed back 7 days, given that not every chapter across the globe has finished their competition. So kudos to TiE Dallas and TiE Houston and the Texas ecosystem for finishing our local competitions early. And the TiE Global competitions will take place in May, just it may be the 16th or a week after. So I did get permission to share that from Dr. Lopez, who all of you saw. So once again, all of you who participated, so all 11 teams, 6 from the Houston track and 5 from the Dallas track, already have got the $1,000 AWS credit. So congratulations on winning that. We will follow up with you on how to claim that. You'll hear a lot more from the TiE Global Group on how you can claim that and get access to it. In addition to that, each of the local chapter winning teams will get an additional $1,000 of seed capital or cash from the chapter. So in this case, Houston will be announcing $1,000, and then so will Dallas. Okay, so that means $2,000 of seed funding will be given to the winning teams. Let's move forward here. So for TiE Dallas, so this is the drum roll, and this is where Satyajit, I'm going to request the TiE president Ram Viswanathan to do the honors, sir. So here's presented by. Sir, if you can unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Thank you, Satyajit. I would be remiss if I don't mention once again what a fantastic job you guys have done, and hats off to you, kudos to you for pulling this all together. And it's been great watching these presentations and the wealth of ideas, the product and the presentations. Very viable, very real project. They're taking on some tough problems and coming up with solutions. It's so remarkable, such a joy and delight to watch it. So thanks again for all of you, and thanks to the team, Satyajit, Tina, Mayur, others that are likewise in Houston, Ravi and your team there. And my partners here, fellow board member and charter member Sunny and Tina, to have been able to make the time and do this, and the other folks from Houston assembled here. With all that said, I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but I'm sure everybody's anxiously waiting to hear the winner.
So we'll go backwards. We'll go backwards. Here's your. Oops, what happened? Oh, 1 second. Oh, maybe we won't be able to announce. And let me quickly present before you see it.
Okay, yeah, you may want to stop sharing.
I'm gonna do a Steve Harvey moment. I promise.
Okay.
Let's try that one more time.
While you're pulling that up, I can just talk about the 3 teams that are all. I think this might sound like a cliche, as I was saying earlier. You're all winners. Everybody did a great job, but obviously you got to pick the ones that rise above the rest, if you will. So the second runner-up is Fit Atom. I think the great idea to take the real need for physical fitness and use the principle of yoga and how tough it could be, and very creative way to look at how you can use your AI to measure body contours, and hats off to them. So second runner-up, Fit Atom. Congratulations, team.
Thank you.
The next is Atlas Open Science, and who would have thought that this was such a huge problem in the scientific community? And I can see why that is the case. It's a very ad hoc process, dealt with in a very informal manner, and put some science into that whole process is a remarkable undertaking. So congratulations, Atlas Open Science, you and your team.
All right, thank you, everybody.
And the winner is Survivor. They have taken on something very, very tough, and the way they've gone about it and come up with a solution and generated traction in the marketplace, working with the agencies, and showing revenue, and with the kind of sense of urgency that is needed in that particular problem. The progress they have made is quite remarkable. Very, very proud of you guys. Guys, you're all taking some real good problems, tough problems, and putting your energy and effort into it. So we are going to support you 100% of the way, and see what all we can do to take this business forward and grow it. And the next hurdle, obviously, is to see how well you can perform on the global, and hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, come out a winner there. So congratulations, hats off to you, well done.
All right, so good job, team, track for all the teams on the TiE Dallas track. So with that, let's move forward. Let's announce also for the track Houston. So presented by the TiE Houston president, Ram Shenoy. If I could have you unmute yourself, sir.
Thanks, Ravi. And first of all, again, thanks to all the judges on both Dallas and Houston for spending so much time giving the benefit of your experience and expertise to and feedback to all these teams. It's truly, very challenging just sitting and listening to the presentations to distinguish it between the presentations. I want to just again echo what Dr. Lopez and Ravi said earlier, which is, all of you are already winners. You're super impressive. I just am so proud of, clearly all the work and effort you've put into this. I would encourage you to stay connected with TiE, because I can see that all the teams, you can benefit from remaining engaged with TiE. I'm sure that there are other charter members we can connect you with and resources we can connect you with to grow your different enterprises to reach their full potential. But with that being said, I had the opportunity to sit in and listen to the judges deliberating, and they were all very consistent across the three of them in their scoring. And so we're going to announce one runner-up and one winner. The runner-up is Air Bloom, and it was very clear. And the winner is Clocker. Clocker is, I think, if I was to elaborate, it was the quality of the business plan and the materials, in addition to the presentation and the maturity and all the different dimensions that caused the judges to judge that to be the winner of the TiE Houston pitch competition. So congratulations to all the teams. And I'm going to hand back to you, Ravi.
Thank you so much. How awesome is that? So students, we will be following up with you to make sure these are announced as tentative until all the due diligence is done with each of the team members, and then we will follow up. But we're so glad to have a runner-up and a local winner from both Dallas and Houston track. So kudos and congratulations, y'all did amazing. I want to leave all of you with a slide that has the TiE University's contact information. So Dr. Paul Lopez is there, Ravi Puli from DC, Subbu Vivek from the Hyderabad chapters. They are the co-chairs who have put this program together, enabling us. So these are the contact informations. The email there, it is going to the project management office. So any questions, comments, concerns, this is the group that you can obviously get in touch with. Let them know. They will also be the team that will reach out to you and in helping you claim the AWS $1,000 credit. And this is again an opportunity for you to work directly with TiE Global, the TiE University program co-chairs, in addition to your local TiE Houston and TiE Dallas mentors. I believe you guys will be invited to many events at your local chapters, and you guys have done some amazing work. Hey Pradeep, you woke up. It's past midnight in India. Pradeep,
I just woke up and here I am.
Well, so we just announced the winners. We're excited for them. Congratulations to Survivor and Clocker for moving forward. And again, we will be reaching out to the teams. At this point, judges and my partner in crime, as he keeps saying it, a very kind person, Satyajit, Doctor, what a pleasure it is to work with you on this. I know both of us Did not know what we're getting into, but what an awesome program. We look to do this again and again. I'm thrilled about it. I'm excited, and I want to thank both the presidents, both Rams that are on the call, for enabling the other charter member, board members on the call to do this good work. And once again, I want to thank Samia from the TiE Houston ED, and Mayur from TiE Dallas. You guys are awesome. Thanks for everything that you do. And then, hey, the judges, once more, we couldn't do this without you, so we appreciate it a lot. And lastly, to the students, you guys are what I call the change makers, and I'm so proud of everything that you've accomplished today. You know, I know you were nervous. I know this was tough for many of you, but look, it got you to do something that you would not have done otherwise. So, you know, kudos to you for putting this on, for meeting the deadlines, and for trying your best. This is not the end. The competitions will continuously, you know, will come back again, try again, and continue to improve. Use the mentors, use the judges, reach out to them on LinkedIn, connect with them, and better your pitch for the next time. For the ones who won, hey, you have a next hill to climb. TiE Global competition is no joke. 500 teams from around the world. So if you think you nailed it, hey, there's going to be a surprise for you. You will need to talk to mentors, but we're here to help you. We definitely want to see a TiE Houston, TiE Dallas, a TiE Texas team win. So with that, any questions I'll take, but the rest, adios, enjoy. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ravi, I just want to slip one more thing in, if I may.
Recording.
I wanted to mention many of these pitches are investable, and many of this business are investable. So hit us up, and we will see what we can do to help you both here in Dallas and Houston. I'm sure
absolutely
there are opportunities. So just want to make sure that it's well understood.
So those still on the call, you heard it from some VCs and angel investors on the call. They're looking for you to contact them. You have their names, you have their LinkedIns. Just go connect with them and ask for advice, mentoring, and investment. All the best to all the students. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and do follow the TiE University Instagram, so you get lots of updates from around the world and lots of goodies also coming your way. Just go and like and share it, so you know what's happening apart from what you get from Texas and from Dallas and Houston. There's quite a lot of stuff in store for you from the global side. So just keep following the Instagram pages and you will get those updates. So all the best.
Any comments from any of the other charter members, board members from Dallas, Houston? I may want to ask for that there, Rory.
Enjoy your Saturday, folks.
This was really good. Sorry, I was on mute. This was amazing experience and really enjoyed judging. But the best part was these incredible ideas that each of you brought to the table. All the very best. And we remain very keenly interested, as Ram said, in investing in some of your wonderful ideas. Best wishes.
Thank you so much, Sunny. All right, I think I killed the echo there. Okay, folks, adios. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Ravi, we have to say avjo.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm sending you some dokras, man. Just hold on.
What about me, brothers?
You're too far.
All right, well, well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Will.
Well organized and well run.
Thank you.